Jeremy Fowler. Mitchell Trubisky.
Yes, not Mitch.
That's right. I remember that from when he was in Chicago.
Mitchell,
right.
Yes.
Jeremy Fowler, who does not want you to call him Jer, right? Just Jeremy, the whole thing. You can't call him Jer Fowler.
You really did that off Mitch.
Jeremy.
You did that
Jeremy
off Mitch.
Fowler. Jeremy is biblical. What's going on, Jeremy?
How you doing, guys?
No.
Feels like the season.
No, it's time.
What's up?
It's time.
It's time.
See, because Jeremy has been deflecting. Every time we've had him on remote, I'm like, yo, you got to come on, drop bars.
Oh.
And what he said to me
He said
last
he got
time.
8 loaded at all times.
I only do that when I'm in studio.
8 loaded at
now
all times.
Now we are here, and I have a memory like an elephant. So I am waiting, Jeremy, for you to drop us some bars. Yates, give this man a beat.
I know he
What
likes
beat
this
is
one.
this? Hold on. Hey. Am I really going to do this?
I
No.
know he likes this one.
All right. Yes. We're on KJM. You know I play above the rim. Jay will pass me the rock. Seaport is the spot.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I'm going to stop right there. I'm literally going to stop right there.
We'll leave it at that. You know what?
Looks like he should be in a barbershop quartet and drop
I'm
bars.
gonna stop
You know
right
what,
there.
Jeremy? I really appreciate you because you took a chance and you went for it.
Yeah.
And that's all a brother can ask.
And didn't embarrass
you
himself.
You are my new favorite
Yep,
dude.
yep.
I rock
I could have
with you.
kept going, but I'm going to
Thank
stop
you.
there.
Didn't embarrass
lay out.
himself.
Let's lay out. That was good. That was good. I like that.
Just a layup line.
Yeah. Let's get some warm-ups. Go ahead, Max.
Man,
Transition.
dangerous to do on the radio live too, because you want to curse when you freestyle.
That was an interesting beat choice. Though.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
He gave me the slow joint.
Yeah, he gave,
the slow joint.
Yates hooked you up with that. He gave you a little time.
Hey, a little time, little Pusha T. I know that's your guy, so
Yeah.
you know.
I was
ties
waiting on
together.
the other Pusha T beat, the one you always play at the beginning.
Oh.
See, the fact that he can identify Pusha T beats.
Yeah.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
See, that's you set yourself up with
I
that
did
because
set myself
I
up.
knew he was going to give
we're
it
done,
to you
we're done,
automatically.
We're all done. All right. So it's time for two-a-days, and
time.
we're doing
Next
the
time we'll do
Pittsburgh
that one.
Steelers right now. Jeremy Fowler is the ESPN's, of course, senior NFL reporter. You can follow him at Fowler ESPN. Which quarterback, Jeremy, has the best spot, if he's not picking favorites, has the best shot at landing the starting job in Pittsburgh?
So I said they weren't playing favorites. It's looking like if there is a favorite, it's Mitchell Trubisky. I mean, he's positioned himself well. He had a good spring.
Experienced.
The feeling out of Pittsburgh is it's his job to lose. Kenny Pickett's going to play. Just depends on when. But you know, Pickett, it wouldn't be necessarily about merit putting him third in the depth chart. It would just be, hey, let's wait this out and let's have a real pecking order with the rookie having to work his way up. But you know, he might play week 8, he might play week 12, might be week 1. I still think everything's on the table. It's just Trubisky clearly has positioned himself as the favorite right now going into camp.
Jeremy, I get where Pittsburgh is on the defensive side of the ball, but the offense still has a lot of questions for me.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, when you look at the AFC North and just how low, I mean, Baltimore is going to get a lot of people back. Lamar Jackson is playing for a big-time contract. We talk about Cincinnati is special. We know how special Joe Burrow is. And Cleveland, depending upon the Deshaun Watson situation, like realistically, what are expectations or what should they be for the Steelers this season? Mike Tomlin never finished below 500. You're saying they're going to be above 500?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because it's still about, if you take the quarterback out of it, we always overinflate the quarterback position, right? That's just going to result in 12 wins or losses. But the reality is you have to have a good overall roster to make it happen. This is a good roster. Offensive line's the issue, right? If they can play respectable offensive line play up front for whoever's the quarterback, then I think they have a
What
chance
makes
to be
you?
pretty good.
Let's stop right there
the
because
defense is going to be a top 5 to 7 defense again.
Let's stop right there on the
every game.
offensive line, Jeremy, because as a Giants fan for 10 years, it's like, well, if they could just, and when you say that, you start the warning signs, right?
Yes, but this is Pittsburgh. They get the benefit of the doubt a little bit.
Yeah, but why? What makes you think the offensive line can hold it down?
Well, I'm not saying that they're going to be like a top elite unit, but they've added a couple free agents, spent some money. I'm betting on them and their coaches and their kind of culture to get that right, at least be respectable. Like last year it was ugly, but they also had an offense with Ben Roethlisberger where he was aging, had to get rid of the ball really fast. They weren't really driving the ball deep downfield. If they can do a little bit of that, then that buys the offensive line some time because then the defense has to adjust to the run and the pass. And so I think they'll be less one-dimensional, which will help the offensive line. I mean, Najee Harris is ready for another
He's a beast,
300 carries. You know, they always have receivers. For the last 10 years, they've had receivers, and the defense is going to be good. So I think that there's a formula there.
So you're saying that the offensive line holds up, they're pretty good. Does pretty good translate to making the playoffs?
I could see Pittsburgh making the playoffs. Everybody's writing them off. I still think it's a pretty good roster. Like the quarterback play gives me pause a little bit. I still go back to, and maybe it's lip service, but like Mitchell Trubisky coming out of Buffalo was a great experience for him, where he felt like, okay, he could sort of rediscover his gifts a little bit. Like, he is a talented athletic player.
Fast.
That got a bit lost in Chicago. He feels like he got some of his swagger back coming into this year.
It's interesting how like new information change. We were just talking about this yesterday. Changes the way you perceive the past.
Yep.
Like if you see a fighter who loses to another fighter, but then the guy he lost to goes on to beat a bunch of guys, it's like, all right, maybe it's not such a bad loss.
Right.
When you look back at Chicago, Trubisky took him to the playoffs. The team without him was garbage, and they had no offensive line in Chicago. When he left, it all fell apart. Like, oh, actually, he wasn't that bad.
Right.
He was kind of good there. And now Mike Tomlin also, I feel that way about. We all knew he was great. But we saw what happened when Belichick lost Brady and wound up with 7 wins.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin's never been under 500. Like, really, when you talk about, if the O-line could just, really, aren't you just talking about Mike Tomlin? Like, a Mike Tomlin coach team will compete no matter what. Isn't that what we're really saying?
Yes, and I'm not comparing Mike Tomlin to Bill Belichick, but it's a similar notion. Right?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.